Hello everybody, welcome to the first game in the 1969 September pennant push for the National League, as Inside Pitch is going to help me and help us see if we can't recreate the 69 pennant race in the National League. Pennant races in the National League, as we go back and look at the standings as of the end of August, we will see that in the NL East, it was just kind of a two-team race, Chicago and New York. Chicago actually ahead by 4 games at this point. But in the West, specifically, 5 out of the 6 teams were in the pennant. The only one who wasn't in there was San Diego. Everybody else is within 4.5 games. So I've got the schedule all lined up. This is game number 1, September the 1st, Houston and St. Louis. And actually, you know what? I wrote it in wrong. It's actually St. Louis at Houston. So I got that backward. The score sheet is correct. This game was played in Houston, so actually I need to flip-flop these just to make sure I'm accurate. So Houston and St. Louis is what we have, and St. Louis is visiting Houston, so I just mixed it up on my spreadsheet here, but the score sheet is correct. So we are at the Astrodome, one of the wonders of the world, and we will have Don Wilson, the right-hander, opposing Steve Carlton, the old lefty, before he went to Philadelphia. And to kind of mimic the teams, I've got an orange D6 to mimic Houston, and we've got the red D20 to mimic St. Louis, and of course the white die is kind of neutral. All right, let's go through the starting lineups very quickly. Lou Brock leads off in left, Curt Flood in center, Vic Davalillo in right, Joe Torre behind the plate, not McCarver, but Joe Torre. Mike Shannon's at third, Bill White is at first, right before he retired, I think. Julian Javier at second, Maxwell at short, and Carlton the pitcher. For the Astros, Joe Morgan at second, Jesus Alou is in right, DeToy Cannon, Jimmy Wynn is in center, Tommy Davis is in left, Doug Rader's at third, Dennis Menke at first, Marty Martinez at short, Johnny Edwards catching, and Don Wilson on the mound. All right, so Don Wilson on the 69 season total was 16-12 with an ERA of an even 4. Carlton was 17-11 with a stellar 2.17 ERA. So up front, it looks like it's going to be a Cardinal victory, but hey, that's why you play the game. And after the game is over, I've got it set up. I'm copying. I'm going to say it right up front. I am straight out copying RJL, and I figure sincerest form of flattery is to reproduce what someone else is doing, but I'm giving him full credit for it. This is his gig. I'm modeling this after him because he does such a great job with it on his 85 season on Inside Pitch. So I've got this, and I've got the payoff pitch fast action cards that I will shuffle up, and we'll use the random numbers from here, and this will give us a score on there. So do it just like he does it. Keep it short, sweet, and simple. Why reinvent the wheel when it was already invented by RJL? So take that out of there, and we'll revisit that when the ball game is over. Right now, I want to make sure that we've got everything in place. I think we do. I think I can even move this over just a touch. Okay, so Don Wilson. Finishing up those warm-up tosses, we'll be facing Lou Brock here in the inaugural September game of the pennant chase in the National League, 1969 style. The next game will be Chicago in Cincinnati. So that'll be the next one. But right now it's Houston and St. Louis from the Dome in Houston. Interestingly enough, Houston adds 3 to strikeouts and adds 4 to walks. So that'll be interesting. See how that all plays out. But right now it is Don Wilson and Lou Brock. And here we go. 4-1 on Wilson is an error on a throw, possibly. Lou Brock, 1-2, star line 2. It's a ground ball to third. That's a 7. The third baseman's error rating. Shannon third baseman is Rader. He's an 11. That will be an error on the throw. Now the first baseman's range, Menke, is a 3. See if he can stop it from getting through. He cannot. Now let's check the BR rating of Brock. He's a 5, so he will make it to second base. So it's going to be a 2-base error. 2-base error right out the chute for Dennis Menke. So not a good start for the Astros. A 2-base error right away. Brock has an attempt of 8, but that's cut in half to a 4 to steal third. So we'll see if anything's going on. It's a 7, nothing's going on. So that'll bring up, these are new cards, so they're kind of, got to break them in a little bit. They're kind of sticking together on me. Here's Kurt Flood, center fielder. That's a 4-4. That's a strikeout chance. 16 is too much. Go to Flood. 4-1. That is a ground ball back to the pitcher. Pitcher is considered in. So I believe, let's take a look, going from second to third. Let's see. It says here, runner advance on balls hit to shorter pitcher if the BR beats the 1d6 roll. So we're going to roll 1d6. And the BR rating of Brock is a 5. So as long as, I think it says it had to beat the roll, didn't it? Yep, it has to beat it. So 1 through 4, he will advance. He does not. He has to hold. So Wilson checks Brock and then still has time to throw out Kurt Flood, 1 away. Here's Vic Davalillo, right fielder. Roll the strategy roll. 8, nothing's happening. Wilson, 3-6. That's a single if he's tired. Of course, he's not tired this early. Go to Davalillo, 6-4. It's a ground ball to first. That'll move the runner to second, or to third, rather. So Brock goes to third. And there are 2 away for Joe Torre, the catcher. Kind of strange he's catching in this game instead of playing his normal first base. And Tim McCarver, who normally would catch, would be catching, but that's just the way this game played out. So there's a chance for a Wilson balk, so I will roll the strategy roll, and there's no 20, so nothing going on. Wilson to Torre, 4-4 again is a strikeout chance, but again, 16 is too much. Go to Torre, 6-5, that's a fly to left. I'm sorry, 6-5 is a ground ball to second, and that's going to end the inning. So the 2-base error, Wilson pitches around it, picks up his teammate. And we go to the bottom of the first. It is Houston coming to bat with the Cardinals. Nothing. Houston coming up. Joe Morgan will lead things off. Little Joe, before he went to the big red machine. He'll be on there to face Steve Carlton. 1-6 for lefty. It's a strikeout chance, but that's a 20, so no strikeout. Morgan gets to swing away. 6-4. He grounds it to second. And put away over there by Javier as he flips to Bill White for out number 1. And that brings up Jesus Alou. Carlton, 2-1 is a strikeout chance. That is a 6. He's a 3, but the stadium adds 3, so that makes that 6 good. It's a strikeout. So how about that? I think it's the highest effect I've seen on a ballpark right here, +3. So that counts for a strikeout. That'll bring up the toy cannon, Jimmy Wynn. 3-2, and then we're going to the ballpark, going to the Astrodome. There are no home run chances on the Astrodome's card. 2-1, but there is a single to right field. So Jimmy Wynn, 2-out single. He's got an attempt of 3. Carlton subtracts 1, attempt of 2. That's a 12, nothing's happening. Brings up Tommy Davis. He was originally carded with Seattle, or somehow he ended up on Seattle, but in this game he is playing for the Astros. 4-6 strikeout chance. That's a 3. He is gone. So lefty strikes out 2 in the inning. Nothing doing for the Astros. We go to the second. No score. And Mike Shannon will lead things off. He may be more well known for a radio broadcaster than he is for a player. But of course, he was on the 67 World Series team and the 68 World Series team that the Cardinals had. Here's Wilson, 2-5. Split chance against a right-hander. That's a walk opportunity. That's an 8. He walks at a 10, so that will be good. Had even facing a lefty for a home run. It might have been a home run. You never know. But it will be a leadoff walk to Shannon. And Shannon has an attempt of 1. I was going to make a joke about Shannon, but I won't do it. I'll refrain. Nothing going on. That brings up Bill White. 5-2 is a walk. 14 is going to do it. So Bill White draws a walk. Back-to-back free passes. And Don Wilson's a little shaky in this ball game, starting things off. Here's Julian Javier. He's not a very good bunter, so they're going to have him swing away. Nothing on the strat. 1-3 is a double question mark against a right-hander. 1-4 is a single, but that's a 15, so no single. Javier finish up 2-5. He's going to pop it up to third. Infield fly rule in effect. 1 down. Brings up Dow Maxfield. Now, he's a good bunter, but then you got the pitcher on deck, so you may as well have him swing away. Plus, there's already 1 out. Nothing on the 20. Wilson 3-6. That would be a single if he's tired, but he's not. Maxfield 6-1. He's going to pop it up to short, so another pop-up. Another infield fly rule. So there's 2 down. So how about that? 2 walks now, 2 pop-ups. And all he has to do now is get Carlton to end the inning. But Carlton's not a bad hitter. 213 with a home run. So nothing automatic for sure. Wilson can't just lay one in there. 5-1's a hit by pitch chance. He's a +5, but that's a 0. So nothing's going on there on the 15. So we go to Carlton. 1-5. It's a star line 6. He flies to right field. And the inning's over. So Wilson pitches around a couple of walks to start the inning and gets out of it unscathed. We go to the bottom of the second, no score. And Doug Rader will lead things off for the Astros against Carlton. That's a 3-1, possible error on a ground ball. Rader 4-6, it's going to be a pop-up to short, so no ground ball to worry about. 1 down, and that'll bring up Dennis Menke. 6-6 is a possible walk, but 20 is too much. Even with the +4, that'd only be an 18, so the 20 is not going to be a walk. Menke 6-4, question mark 8 against a against a left-hander. It's a 1-4. That's a 10. So didn't get it done. So it's going to be a fly to center. 2 down. Had he been facing a right-hander, that would have been a double. But didn't work out that way. 2 up, 2 down. Here's Marty Martinez. Has about the worst defensive shortstop you can find in this game, a 1 and a 20. So unless that's the only thing that'd be worse is make this a -2 pivot or something. But 1 and 20 is about as bad as you're going to get. Here's Carlton 2-6. Martinez is switch hitter batting right, means it's a walk chance. That's a 3, so he will walk. A 2-out walk to Marty Martinez. He has no attempt whatsoever, so he has to hold for the catcher, Johnny Edwards, lefty on lefty against Carlton. 2-1. 2-1's a strikeout chance. 17 is too much. Go to Edwards. 2-3. Ground ball to second, and that's your end of your inning. So 2 innings in the books, and we are no score here at the Astrodome. And that will bring up back to the top of the order for the Cardinals and Lou Brock. Brock reached on the 2-base error, but then was stranded at third base. 6-2, and against a right-hander, that'd be a single, but against a left-hander, which Brock is, it's blank. Move on to Brock. 5-2. Well, against a right-hander, another split chance, but against a right-hander, that's a double. It's a double to center field for Lou Brock. So he's at second base again. And again, his attempt, I want to say it's, I'm not used to having a guy try to steal third, but let's check it out here. Attempt divided by 2. So his attempt is an 8, so I'd make it a 4. So I was doing that correctly. See if he can do anything. 12, nothing's going to happen. So that brings up Kurt Flood. Wilson to Flood, 5-1, possible hit by pitch. He's got an 8 here. He's got a +5. That's a 13, but that's a 15, so no hit by the pitch. Flood, 2-5, and this is a split chance with the ground ball going to second base against a righty. But that will move Brock to second base, no, to third base rather. So Kurt Flood made the out, but did his job getting the run over. And now you wonder, do they play the infield? They're going to play the infield in. They think against Carlton they're not going to get many runs, so they don't want to give them a cheap one. We'll roll this strategy because it's a possible balk on this, but there's no 20s, no balk. And I'm not doing a suicide squeeze or any of that mess. So here we go. Wilson to Davalillo, infield in. 3-1 is a possible wild pitch, and that's going to send the run in anyway. You don't have to worry about it. He just uncorked one right past Johnny Edwards. Wild pitch, and the Cardinals take a 1-0 lead on that wild pitch. Base is clear now with 1 out for Davalillo. 6-1, strikeout chance. 14 is way too much for that. Davalillo, 3-5, and that is a fly to right. That's out number 2. And that sends us to Joe Torre. Torre, 3-3. On Wilson's card, rather, is a strikeout. 18 is too much for that. So we move on to Torre. And we get a 4-3, and that is a fly to right to end the inning. But the double, a ground out, and a wild pitch give the Cardinals a 1-0 lead as we go to the bottom of the 3rd. And Don Wilson, the pitcher, will lead things off. He was not a very good hitting pitcher. 0-99. Did have 5 runs driven in, but not much on the hitting. Carlton, 5-1 is a possible error. So Wilson might reach on the error. You never know. Wilson, 3-1 is a fly to left. The left fielder, Brock, has an error rating of 11, but that's a 12. So Brock just able to make that play without bobbling it. Or he bobbled it but didn't drop it, put it that way. So 1 down for Joe Morgan. Carlton, 4-2. 4-2 would be a home run chance against a righty, but against a lefty, it is blank. Morgan, 2-2, will fly to right field, out number 2. 2 down, and that sends us to Jesus Alou. Again, these cards are brand new. First time I'm playing or using them, so they don't, have that stickiness to them that you need to. There's like a covering or some kind of a layer on them that needs to come off of there from use, and that'll get it to where you can shuffle them and move them around better. Here's Alou. 6-1 strikeout chance, 19's too much. Here's Alou. 3-1. 3-1's a fly to right. Inning's over. 3 up, 3 down. We go to the 4th. Still 1-0 favor of the Redbirds. And Mike Shannon will step up. 3-5 for Wilson is a strikeout chance. That's an 11. He's a 9, but the stadium adds 3, so that is a 11. That becomes a 12. So it will be a strikeout, and I have to do it, folks, but Shannon is gone, I've heard. So he's out of here on strikes. I was going to refrain, but I couldn't, If people tune out now, that's fine. I understand. All right. Good thing it wasn't live. Huh? Although it might be premiere, so I might be just as much in trouble doing a premiere. We'll wait and see. All right. So that's the last time you'll hear something like that for a while. Here's Bill White, 6-5. And just because of that, it just that bad, hideous sound disrupted Don Wilson's concentration. He's now giving up a home run question mark, but it's only a 1-6 for lefties, so he's going to avoid that. Plus, Bill White has no homers. So we go to White's card, 4-1. He's going to ground to first. But I almost caused Wilson some anguish there. Here's Javier. 2-2, strikeout chance, 16's too much. We go to Javier. 3-6, ground ball back to Wilson, and the inning is over. So we go to the bottom of the 4th, still 1-0. Carlton will be facing Jimmy Wynn to lead things off. Here is a 5-1, which is a possible error. 2-1, and that is a star line 2, which is a ground ball to short. Shortstop error rating is 8 for Maxwell. That is a 3. So that is an E6. It's not a throwing error, it's just a boot. So now both teams have committed an error. And Wins at first. He's got an attempt of 3. -1 from Carlton is a 2. And nothing's happening on the attempt. So now we go to Tommy Davis. 2-3, and that's potential walk. 16, way too much for that. Go to Davis, 6-3, single pass short. So Davis singles. And let's check the runner advancement. To go from first to third on an S6, you have to have a 5 on your base running rating. Jimmy Wynn is a 4, but not a 5, so he has to hold. So he will hold at second base. Runners at first and second with nobody out for Doug Rader. He could bunt, but he's only a 1 bunter, so he's going to eschew the bunt. Nothing on the strat. Here is the pitch to Rader. 2-1, strikeout chance, 17 too much. 3-6 is a star line 6, fly to right field. 1 away. Now the runner on second, Win, could try to go to third. He's a 4 on his base running rating. The right fielder is Davalillo. He's a +2. That makes it a 6, so he's going to make it uncontested. Won't even be a throw. He will make it to third base. So 1 out, but at least the runner got over for the Astros. That puts a little pressure on the Cardinals. Now the double play chance is still in order here. He is a 3, so if they play double play depth, it can be a 4. Could get him out of the inning, 4 or less. So they're going to play double play depth. Nothing on the strategy roll. Carlton to Minky, 5-6. He might get a strikeout. 11 against a lefty is a 9, but the +3 gives him a 12, so he does get the strikeout. And now they can play normal depth because there's 2 outs and 2 on for Marty Martinez, the shortstop. Nothing on the strategy roll. 1-5 is a star line against a right-hander, and he's a switch hitter batting right-handed, so it is a star line. We'll check the star line. It is a 3, which is a fly to center. So that's going to end the inning. So the Astros come up empty. We go to the 5th, still 1-0. Favor of the Redbirds. Dal Maxwell will lead it off, followed by Carlton and Brock. Wilson, 1-3 is a double question mark against a right-hander. 1-4 is a single, but that's a 12. It's out of range. Go to Maxwell, 6-4. That will be a single to center. No out of range there. Straight single to center. And now we very well likely should have a bunt from Carlton, you would think. So he's going to try to bunt, but first we have to make sure there's no strikeout or whatever. So we'll roll on this. First we'll roll the strat roll, make sure there's no pickoff chance. There is not. So now we'll roll, see if there's going to be a bunt or not. 5-6 is a ballpark card. So the ballpark card comes up. 4-1 is a ground ball to first. So since we had the ballpark card, I don't know if that takes away the bunt or not. I think you still bunt. I don't think you go to the ballpark card. I think you bunt. This is one I'm not 100% sure on. Haven't had this happen before. I don't know if it's on the rules. It probably is somewhere, but let's see here. So I'm going to overrule it because his intention is to bunt. So let's re-roll this. Really shouldn't have gone to the ballpark card. So let's re-roll this for a bunt. He is a 3 bunter, becomes a 2 bunter. So 2 is where he's at. Needs a 1 to 10 to get a good bunt. And it's a 7, so it is a good bunt. The 3 is the first baseman, so sacrifice hit. 3 unassisted. As Minky puts on the tag on Carlton, but the bunt is successful. So we go to Lou Brock with a runner at second and 1 out. Strategy roll. I may not have played that correctly. But I'm going by intent, not by going to the ballpark. It just didn't make any sense. All right, here's Lou Brock, 3-1. Or I'm sorry, Wilson, 3-1. Possible wild pitch. And that's a 20, so there's no wild pitch. So we're going to re-roll on Wilson's card. 6-3, another wild pitch. That's a 9. That will be a wild pitch. So he tried it once, and Edwards blocked it, but he couldn't block this one. And that is the second wild pitch uncorked by Don Wilson in this game in just 5 innings. Almost had 3 wild pitches, as a matter of fact. But now Brock's at third with 1 out. Infield's going to have to come in. Roll to make sure there's no balk. There is not. 4-2 is a strikeout chance. 10 on for Brock on a strikeout. He will get him. So that's out number 2. So big strikeout there. Big strikeout there. Now it's up to Kurt Flood to try to get Maxwell home from third. Nothing on the strat. Wilson, 3-5, and that's a strikeout chance against a right-hander. That's an 8. That's a 5, but you add 3, so the strikeout is good, and the inning is over. Boy, we've already had a couple of strikeouts due to the ballpark already. So the Astrodome effects are being felt. So we go to the bottom of the 5th, still 1-0. And here's Johnny Edwards, followed by Wilson and Morgan. 3-4. 3-4 is a hit by pitch. He's got a 3, but he's got a -3, so nothing's happening there. Edwards, 5-4. Starline 1's a ground ball to third, And Mr. Shannon puts it away. 1 down. Here's Don Wilson. 5-5 is a range play off of Carlton. And 5-2, question mark 7. That's a 10, so that becomes a single, but it's to left field. So we're doing the range play of Lou Brock. He is a 4, a 1-4, and Lou Brock will rob that single. And he does. So Wilson does not get the hit. Lou Brock races into the gap and gets it, cuts it off, and Wilson goes back to the dugout disappointed. 2 down for Joe Morgan. 1-1 is a possible walk, and that will definitely be a walk to Morgan. And you know Joe, he's got to try to steal. So he's got a 6, -1 from Carlton is a 5. And he cannot get the jump. So Morgan thought about it, but just couldn't get the jump. So it'll be up to Jesus Alou. Carlton 3-3, possible error on a throw. Alou 5-4. Starline 6 is a fly to right, no throw needed. Innings over. So we go to the 6th, still 1-0 Cardinals. That lone run from the wild pitch in the 3rd inning has held up. Wilson could go 29 batters. Carlton could go 31 as far as fatigue. And they're both well within that right now. Starting the 6th, here's Davalillo. 6-6, a strikeout chance, 11 too high. Davalillo. 1-4, grounds back to Wilson, 1 away. For Joe Torre. 3-4, and that's going to be a potential walk. He walks at a 12 plus the 4 is 16. That's a 10. So Torre will draw the base on balls with 1 out. He has no attempt rating. So Mike Shannon is up. We'll roll the strategy roll. Make sure there's no pickoff or balk. Wilson 4-3, and we're going to the ballpark card for Mike Shannon. And that is a 2-5, which is a fly to right. 2 down. And that'll bring up Bill White. Nothing on the strategy. 3-2, and that is that's now a range play at the Astrodome. 4-6 is a question mark 9. That's an 18, which is an out, fly to right. But now we got to check the range. We used the 18 to see if it was a hit or not. It is not. It's a fly out. But now we're doing the range of the right fielder, which is Jesus Alou, who is a 3. So this has to be a 3 or less for Jesus Alou to field it. And it is not. So it's a failed range play. Is it a double? It is not. It's a single. Single for Bill White, single to right field. Runner Torre at first base has a base running rating of 2. To get from first to third on a single to right, you add 2 to that base running rating, makes him a 4. There are 2 outs, that makes him a 5. And the right fielder arm, Alou is a 0. So 5, he makes it. 1-5, I should say. And he does make it. 3 is, well, Bill White's base running rating is equal to that. So Bill White will actually go to second on the throw as Torre is in there. So Bill White takes second on the throw, on the overthrow. And now that puts 2 on with 2 out for Julian Javier. Nothing on the 20. Wilson to Javier. 3-1 is another wild pitch chance, and he's going to uncork another one. So 3rd wild pitch of the game, and that produces both runs. Come on wild pitches. Wow. How do you have, he must have had a whole bunch of wild pitches. He's got 2 wild pitches on his card, and I'm seem to be finding them quite often. All right, so now White moves over to 3rd with 2 down. Nothing on the 20. Wilson, 5-5, potential walk. He walks at an 8, but that's a +4, so that will be a walk. Will be a walk to Javier. He's got an attempt of 2, but nothing's happening. It's just out of the range of anything happening. Dow Maxfield, the batter. 2-6 is a strikeout chance, and he gets it. Innings over, but the 2nd run of the game comes in. Both have come in on wild pitches. And Don Wilson has no one to blame but himself. So we go to the bottom of the 6th, still 2-0. Favor of the Cardinals. And here is Jimmy Wynn. 5-3. 5-3 is a strikeout. And that's a 4, so that will definitely be a strikeout. So Jimmy Wynn is gone. Here's Tommy Davis. Carlton, 6-5. That's a home run question mark against a right-hander. It has to be a 1. So it fails that check. Davis, 6-6. He's going to ground to short. 2 down, and that brings up Doug Rader. Carlton, 6-3. Range play. Rader, 1-3. Ground ball to second. We're doing the range of Javier. He is a 3. He's a 1. He got it. Javier takes care of it. No problem. Astros are gone here in the 6th. We go to the 7th. Still 2-0 in favor of the Redbirds. All right, Wilson back out. Will face Carlton. And this is batter number 27 that Wilson will be facing. So he's right at the precipice of his fatigue. And so we'll see if there's any bullpen activity for the Astros. And it looks like there could be. I see Skip Gwynn, or Skip Ginn, I'm not sure how it's pronounced, a lefty, is loosening the bullpen. And they also have a right-hander. Let's see here. Right-handed pitcher is Jack Billingham. So they got a lefty and a righty. Here's Carlton. Wilson to Carlton. 4-4. Strikeout chance, so he is gone. 1 away. Brings up the top of the order in Lou Brock. 4-2. Strikeout chance, 17. Too much. Even with the +3, it's too much. Brock, 2-3. He's going to ground it to second. 2 down. And I hope it's not annoying people when I'm pointing, because I need to do that or I'm going to read the wrong square. So just out of habit, I'm just pointing to make sure I get the right square and I don't misread a card. That's the goal. All right, Wilson, 3-1. And wow pitch, but nobody's on base, so it's just a foul ball. 6-4. That's a range play on Kurt Flood's card. 2-5, and that is a ground ball to second. We're doing the range of the second baseman, Morgan. He's a 3. Has to be a 3 or less. And it's not. It's a 4. It's base hit. So he snuck it by Morgan, did Kurt Flood. And now he will see what he can do. He's going to attempt a 2. That's a 5, just out of range of anything going on. So it sends up Davalillo. Wilson, 1-2, strikeout chance. That's a 9, that's a 5. Stadium only adds 3, so we're short by 1. Davalillo, 5-3. And that is a question mark 9, which is up to an 18 for a hit. That's a 4. That's a single for Davalillo. Single to right field. And I suspect that the runner will automatically make it. Because Flood's a 5 VR rating. You add 1 for there being 2 outs, make him a 6. And then you get a +2 for going from first to third. So he will make it without a throw. Runners are at the corners. And we'll check Davalillo now. That's, let's see, 30 batters faced for Wilson. So he is definitely fatigued, and he's got to avoid his fatigue chances. But with Davalillo coming up, how do they want to work this? Davalillo is going to come up, so they're going to bring in a left-hander. They're going to go to the bench, or not the bench, the bullpen, and bring in Skip Ginn. Not very good ERA, but he is a lefty. However, to thwart some of my strategy, Vic Davalillo is not rated for lefty-righty splits. He's got a generic chance here. So his card is just, it's not, he doesn't get penalized facing a lefty, basically, is what I'm saying. But I'm going to play it as if he is. All right, so let's see what happens here. Skip Ginn. First of all, roll strategy roll. Nothing going on. 5-4. That's a strikeout plus, and that's why you bring Skip Ginn in there. He's got some strikeout power, and he strikes out Davalillo. I'm sorry, that wasn't Davalillo. That was should have been Torrey. I wouldn't have brought in Ginn if I'd have thought that. I'm going to redo this whole thing because I did that based on the lefty up there, not the righty. I'm going to bring in Billingham. My bad. So good thing we got correction tape to correct these things. So somehow I forgot to move the card and reveal that Torrey was the next batter. So it will not be It will not. In fact, I think we're going to just stick with Wilson. I think since it's a righty up there, we're going to stick with Wilson. I think that's the best move. I think they're going to let Wilson and hope he doesn't fall on a fatigue result. So Don Wilson is going to get back in there. False alarm. Joe Torre is up. And of course you have to avoid the wild pitch too. That's the other thing to worry about. Strategy roll, nothing going on. 3-6, and we get the tired roll. As soon as I leave him in there, he gets a tired roll. That's a single. So I probably should have made the change. But, you know, there's only a couple spots. You sometimes take a chance, and sometimes managers do that too. They take chances. That one just didn't pay off. So it's a single, SI1. To get from first to third, you need a 4 base running rating for Joe Torre. I'm sorry, for Davalillo. And Davalillo is a 4, so he will make it to third base automatically. And now that's going to be it for Wilson. He has to come out because he is now considered exhausted for giving up a hit on the fatigue check. So he will have to come out, no doubt about it. And with Shannon, the right-hander, they're going to go to Jack Billingham, the right-hander. So Jack Billingham will be coming on. Take over for Wilson. Wilson didn't pitch that poorly. He had some rough, wild pitch outings and so forth, but just got no run support. And now, more trouble. Runners at the corners. 1 run is already in to make it 3-0. Runners on base are Wilson's responsibility as well. Billingham, we will roll strategy because of the pickoff. And also because, well, Torre doesn't have any run rating, but there's a chance for a pickoff. And there's nothing going on. You have to roll a 20 to get that. So here's Billingham for Shannon. 4-1, strikeout plus. So he gets him. That plus makes him a 19, plus that makes him a 22. So Billingham comes in and gets it done. And Jack is saying, if you'd brought me in against Torre, I would have gotten him out too, but you didn't do it. And I say, you know what? You're exactly right. I was trying to squeeze one more out of Wilson, and just sometimes you try to do that, you get bit. That's plain and simply what happened. Cardinals lead at 3-0. 7th inning stretch time here at the Dome. And as a reminder, when the game is over, we will be doing the ticker. It won't be a 10-minute long ticker. It'll be the ticker to autoplay these 5 games or these 4 games. And then we'll update the standings after those games are played. Not a full schedule, but pretty good schedule for this date. Not every team is playing. All right, here is Dennis Menke. Carlton, 3-2. Ballpark card. On to the ballpark card. 4-5, and 4-5 is a star line 5, which is a fly to left. So 1 away. And that will send us to Marty Martinez. 3-1, possible error on a grounder. Martinez, 3-5. 3-5 is a fly to center, so no worries of an error. 2 down for Johnny Edwards. Edwards, 6-2. He's a lefty. That's a walk plus, so that will be a walk. And now we'll get a pinch hitter for Billingham, as Billingham only faced 1 batter. That was all they asked him, all they needed him to do. They did not do a double switch, so just the 1 batter is fine by them. They will bring in a pinch hitter. So let's go to the bench and see who they're going to get. Most of their good hitters are left-handed, so they're going to have to get a righty to go against Carlton. And let's see who they have. Not a whole lot, to be quite honest with you. So they're going to go to, in much, I mean, they just don't, the guy who has the most at-bats is Kurt Blefary, but he's a lefty, so he didn't start the game for a reason, I'm sure. But you know what? We're going to use Blefary anyway because he had the most at-bats. So we'll go with Blefary. And his versus left is still probably higher than anybody else's on the benches versus righties. So they're going to go with it. Jack Billingham is no longer in the game. We'll get a new pitcher in the top half of the 8th. But right now, Kurt Blefary will be on. Pinch hit. 2 outs. Runner at first is Edwards. Strategy roll. Nothing happening. Carlton to Bleffery. 3-6. And that, against a righty, it's a K+. So it's a good thing we brought a lefty in this time. It's a blank. Got lucky. Here's Bleffery. 1-5. He's going to fly to right, so it ended up not mattering. Innings over. We go to the 8th. 3-0 Cardinals. And we'll get a new pitcher for the Astros, and it'll be the guy I tried to bring in originally, Skip Ginn. He will come in as Bill White, the lefty, is up, followed by Javier, who is a right-hander, and Maxwell, a right-hander. But they're going to use Ginn because he's got that strikeout plus thing going for him. So Skip Ginn is in to face Bill White. 4-3, and there's that strikeout plus right on cue. Struck him out. 1 away. Here's Julian Javier. 4-1, that's a foul ball on a wild pitch. 3-1 is a possible error on a throw. Javier, 1-4. Single pass third. Single pass third, so there is no throw to worry. Well, you know what? You still have to do an error on the throw because it's a single to third, not pass third. So the throw, third baseman Raiders 11, that's an 8. It'll be an error. It'll be a single plus. So it's a single plus a throwing error. And let's check and see if the first baseman can stop it. Menke's a 3 range. He has to have a 3 or less to stop this ball. And he does. So he keeps it from getting by him too far, but it still will make the runner go to second base. It just keeps it from go to third. So it's an E5. Single plus an E5. Javier is now at second base. He does not have enough to try to do an attempt, and there is no strategy roll because there's nothing going on here, so we skip that. Here is Maxwell. 5-1, that's the ballpark card, so we're going to Astrodome. 6-1, fly to left, that's 2 down. And that brings up Steve Carlton. Now, Carlton has faced 27 batters. He's allowed 31. But he is pitching a shutout, so we're going to keep him going. Plus, he's a decent hitter. Again, 2-3. Home run question mark against a lefty. It's 1-11. That passes. So if we get a 6 or more, or 6 or less rather, on the D20, it's a home run. That's a 3. It's gone. Now, realistically, Carlton, again, his pitcher card is not rated. So I don't know if his home run was against a right-hander or a left-hander. In theory, if his home run was against a right-hander, he should have no home run power against lefty. But I'm going to just leave it as is. Carlton, a 2-run home run. 2-run home run for Steve Carlton. How about that? You let him hit, and he makes him pay the price. So Carlton is the man in this game. He's pitching a shutout, and now he's got a 2-run homer. Makes it 5-0 here in the 8th. And here's Lou Brock. 1-6 is a base hit off again. Straight up single. And now if the score being 5-0, they'll call off the dogs. There won't be any steal attempts or strategy rolls or any of that stuff. Here's Kurt Flood. Again, trying to get that third out. 3-6. Strikeout chance. He is not tired yet. Strikeout chance. That's a 1. It's gone. Because that is his 5th batter. 1, 2, 3, 4. Yeah, so he's good to go. All right, so again, gets the out. He may have been tired there, but I'm going to just let it ride. It's so close to the border, so. All right, so that's going to end the inning. 2 runs are in. It's 5-0. And Carlton facing Morgan. 6-1, that's a strikeout chance. Morgan is out of there. 1 away, so it looks like no matter what the Houston pitchers do, the batters just don't have an answer for Steve Carlton. 5-2, that is a strikeout chance. That's a 10, that's too much, so Lou gets a free swing. That's a leaner, so what do you do with the leaner? Do you re-roll it? I think you have to. We'll keep the 4 and the 14, but we need to re-roll this one. And that's a 1, and it knocked us over from a 4. You know, I'm going to re-roll the whole thing, because that's just too much going on there. Let's re-roll the whole thing. 2-3. 2-3 is a walk chance. 9 is too much. So we're going to Alou. I think I already rolled Carlton once anyway, so it need to go to Alou. 5-5 is a ground ball to short. 2 down for Jimmy Wynn. 3-2, that's to the ballpark we go. Astrodome. 3-2 again is a Starline 2, which is a ground ball to short. And Carlton. Looks like he's going to get a complete game shutout unless something dramatic happens. We'll get a new pitcher for the Astros as Yin is done. And they're going to have to go to someone else out of that pen. And they'll go to, ironically, and I say ironically, because Mr. Ball 4, Jim Bouton, started with Seattle, or maybe started with Houston and then went to Seattle, I'm not sure, but he's carded with Seattle, but he was with Houston at this time of the season. So Jim Bouton, more famously known for his Ball 4 books, facing Davalillo, Torrey, and Shannon here in the 9th. Trying to keep it 5-0. 3-4. 3-4 is a star line against the lefty, so he gets the automatic out. It is a 5. It's a ground ball. 3rd. 1 away. Davalillo is gone. Here's Torrey. 3-6. That's a walk chance, and he will walk Joe Torrey. So how about that? Torrey's reached base 3 times. Pretty good. We'll roll the strategy roll just because there's a balk chance, but that's the only reason. Nothing going on here. Shannon. 1-2. That's a walk chance against a right-hander, so he will walk Shannon. Back-to-back walks. And now that brings up Bill White. Roll for that. Make sure nothing's happening. Bouton. 6-1 is the ballpark card. Going to the Astrodome. 4-2. Starline 6 is a fly to center. 2 down. Torrey is the one at second, but his VR is less than 3, so he cannot even think about attempting. Plus Win is a -1 arm. So here's Javier. 3-3, strikeout chance. He's going to get him. Javier out on strike. So Bouton pitches a shutout 9th to keep the score at 5-0. And now the only mystery is whether Carlton will get a shutout. So Carlton has faced 30 batters. This is batter 31 coming up. Tommy Davis. And we'll see how he does. 3-1, possible error on a grounder. 6-1, ground ball to second. That's a 14. Second baseman Javier is only a 9, so Javier will make the play. 1 away. There's Doug Rader. 1-4, wild, but nobody's on base, so just re-roll. 6-5 is a home run question mark, but that's only a 1 to pass. That's a 14, so it will not pass. We skip to Rader. 6-1, fly to right. 2 down. Last chance for the Astros is Dennis Menke. 2-1, that's a strikeout, and he's gone. So what a way for Carlton to end that one. And he is the man, unquestioned, in this ball game here from the Astrodome. It was Steve Carlton's world, and he was letting everybody else just live in it. As he pitches a complete game shutout, Astros win it, or the Cardinals win it rather 5-0. They won the real game 6-2. This one 5-0, and see how many hits the Astros managed to eke out. 1, 2. I only got him for 2 hits, so it's a 2-hit shutout. 2-hit shutout for Steve Carlton. So how about that? A 2-hit shutout, and the Cardinals win it. So let's go over now to our ticker. Fill that game in with a win, with the score of 5-0. So we come over here, put in the score of 5-0, favor of St. Louis. And with that, we also changed the win-loss record. Houston now 69-64, and St. Louis 72-62. So they are temporarily tied with Pittsburgh going into our ticker. So to do the ticker, after watching RJL several times, I think I got it down now, pretty much what needs to be done. So what we're going to do, I've already, the using the payoff pitch instant results chart, a quick results chart, and I'll show that to you in case anybody's not familiar. But if you watched RJL, you probably are. So let's pull that out. Okay, so each team is given a letter grade. For instance, the first game we're going to do is Pittsburgh and Atlanta. So Pittsburgh, being the visiting team, that's the one we're checking. Pittsburgh is a B-rated team. That's what it says right here. They're B, rated B. Atlanta is an A-rated team. So when a B plays an A, we cross-reference this over here to column A versus A, cross-referencing that with the B, and we get a 2 through 6 or an 11, which is why that's there. So we're going to end up flipping a fast action card, and if the random 2d6 number falls between 2 and 6 or is an 11, Pittsburgh will win the game. Then to figure out the score, you just take this number and make that the score. So had this been the flip, that 5 falls in that category of 2 through 6. So that means Pittsburgh wins by the score of 5-3. So that's, in a nutshell, how it's done. But I'm sure most of you have seen RJL do it, so I'll try to just go fairly quickly. But I will shuffle these where you can see them, so we can see the randomness. I'm going to shuffle them and flip them before we start. Okay, and I'll even cut them. How about that? All right, so there we go. Now, so the first game, again, is Pittsburgh and Atlanta. If the 2d6 number that I flip is between 2 and 6 or an 11, Pittsburgh will win the game. If not, Atlanta wins. So we flip it, and it's an 8, so it's out of that range. Atlanta wins the game 9-8. So a 9-8 victory for Atlanta. Now we got the Mets and the Dodgers. 2 through 7, and the Mets will win it. It's a 6. The Mets win it 9-1. They blow the Dodgers out. Montreal, not very good against San Francisco. They needed a 2 through 5 to win this game. They do not get it. It's a 1-0 shutout by the Giants. So that's now it leaves Philadelphia and San Diego, 2 F-rated teams. Philadelphia needs a 4 through 7 or a 12. They get a 4. They win it 8-4. So just like that, that's your scores. Those are the scores, I should say, for those games. So let's get the standings back out. Just had them. Now I've got to find them again. Here they are. Okay, so we know that Pittsburgh lost to Atlanta, so that means Atlanta improves to 74-62. Pittsburgh drops to 70-61. So actually, they now have fallen behind St. Louis. So St. Louis has leapfrogged them by a half game. Over here, the Mets beat the Dodgers, so the Mets are now 77-54. And the Dodgers dropped to 72-59. And let's see here. Cincinnati did not play. San Francisco beat Montreal, so San Francisco now 75-59, so they're actually in first place by a half a game. Dodgers drop a full game back, and Montreal with the loss continues to free fall 41-94. Now the inconsequential game, San Diego beat Philadelphia 8-4, so San Diego gets their 40th win. Philadelphia drops to 52-79. And of course, I'll have something a lot cleaner than that going through forward. But that's basically how I'm going to do it. Just keep updating this and keep updating the standings as we go. The whole month of September plus the October 1st and 2nd games. So that's the ticker there. 4 games on the docket for September the 2nd. And the game I'm going to be playing, featuring, is the Cubs and the Reds. And that's going to be Ferguson Jenkins against Tony Cloninger. And then we'll do the ticker on these games as well going forward. So hope you enjoyed that presentation of Inside Pitch 1969 style. And until next time, enjoy playing whatever game you choose to play, however you choose to play it, and I will see you all down the road.